Yo guys, Pokemon Master 556 here, and today I have a very special video for you. Today I will be showing you the complete non-holo first edition PSA 10 base set. Next cards numbers 17 all the way through 102, and that includes both the yellow and red cheeks Pikachus, which makes it even more awesome. I'll be showing the cards backwards from number 102 down to 17 just because trainer cards aren't as fun, but there is a little bit more expensive cards in some of the trainer cards as well. So I will be noting that for you guys. That way, in case you guys might be interested in perhaps someday obtaining a first edition non-holo base set, just know that it will not be cheap ever, and it will only probably more than likely get worse as the coming years go, just because simply these cards are only getting older. So, to start things out here, we got the Water Energy, card number 102. Then we got that Psychic Energy. This is actually one of the harder ones to grade. The Psychic and the Water ones. For some reason, I had a ton of those to grade, and not very many of the Psychic or the Water Energies were that easy to grade. I found the Grass one, the Fire one, and the Fighting Energy one to be the easier ones to grade. Don't know why. It's just that way. Most of those cards only sell for like $20 to $30 each. This here's the double colorless energy. This one took me a while to find. If you want to get one of these, they're typically going to run you close to $100, believe it or not. Switch. Pretty awesome card. They're all awesome, by the way. Potion. Gust of Wind. This is a more expensive trainer card. I don't know why. Probably just because the pop is a little lower, but they generally sell for around $60 a piece. And here we got Energy Removal. Good old Bill hanging out next to that brick wall. Then we got Super Potion. This is going to be another expensive one. I don't know how much people are generally getting for these, but I picked mine up for $45, which is, believe it or not, a steal considering I'm seeing people listing them for $500 OBO, and they are selling. I don't know what they're getting for them, but I could imagine that they're getting more than $45 like I paid. So we got the Revive. Professor Oak. This is a really big one. If you want to buy one of these, chances are you're going to end up spending at least $300 for this bad boy because they are always so off-centered one way or another, and it's terrible. I have had quite a few of these cards, and I've never bothered grading them just because they're simply just too difficult to grade. So we got the awesome Pokedex. It's pretty cool, actually. It's got a little Doug Trio on there. If you could see that. I can't get it to really focus in any better than that. But yeah, pretty cool card. Good old Pokedex. Next up, we got the Pokemon Flute. These generally go for close to $100 as well. Got lucky and won mine on auction for a little less. Pokemon Center. It's definitely the cheaper uncommons of the set. You probably pick one of these up for about $30. So that's not too bad, especially for an uncommon. Plus Power. These are quite hard to come by. I don't really see them pop up too often. I was looking for one for about a good 6 months before I found one, and I bought one from a guy from UK. Someone middlemanned it for me, and it was very awesome of him to do that for me. We got Maintenance. Full Heal. Energy Retrieval. Defender. I actually got this one in a trade. I traded away a Lass, believe it or not. Traded a Lass for this Defender and the Devolution Spray, which is also a very, very low pop card. Now we're moving on to the rares here. Super Energy Removal. I pulled one of these out of a pack. That was freaking awesome. Did not grade a 10 though. That was the not so awesome part. Scoop Up. Pokemon Trader, if you could find one of these for 125 bucks, I would buy it. That's about what I paid for mine. Pokemon Breeder, this is a little bit one of like the easier ones to come by in a 10. Moving along, this is one of the big ones right here. This is the chase right here. The chase is real with this card. Like, if you want one of these, you're going to pay close to 1K. It's going to be close to $1,000, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But that's what they're going for right now, and it really, really hurt. Made me cry a little bit paying for that one. This is the hardest one to find currently. This is a Pop 23 card item finder. It's one pop lower than Lass and Wartortle right now. Those two are 24. I believe this one to be the lowest pop non-holo out of the first edition base set. So if you could come across one of these for under $1,000 somehow, I applaud you. I did not pay $1,000 for mine, thankfully. I got very, very, very lucky. But I still paid a lot for it. Got Imposter Professor Oak. Pretty cool card. Devolution Spray. Like I said, I got this from good old Ed off of eBay. One of the OG Pokemon masters. Got the Computer Search. Got this off of Crack Rock McCabe for a pretty fair deal, I'd say. I'm pretty sure they're worth more than what I paid for it. Clefairy Doll is a little easier to find. You should be able to get that for around $100. All right. Now we're getting into the Pokemon. The bread and butter of the set. Well, I guess the bread and butters are the holos, but this is as close to that as you're going to get in a non-holo set. So there you got the awesome Weedle. You got the beautiful, beautiful Vulpix card right here. I love this card. It's an awesome card. I've had like 6 of these in a 10. So that'll go back there too. A little thing about like gray stamp cards. I have one PSA 10 gray stamp. It's crazy. It's the Voltorb. If you could find gray stamp 10s, I would urge you to buy them. They're extremely, extremely hard to come by. I mean, I would definitely love to see someone with a PSA 10 gray stamp set. I don't think that'll ever exist, though. So maybe just a PSA 8 through 10 would be awesome to see. If anyone has PSA 10 gray stamps, you guys should start collecting them. Crazy hard to find. I don't really know how special they are. People don't really consider them to be too great of an error, but they are very, very rare. That much I can guarantee. Got there the awesome Rattata there. And we got Ponyta. Man, that PSA 10 stack is getting pretty beefy. Got Poliwag. Yes, most of these cards here that I'm showing you, all the commons, they'll generally sell for around $25 to $45 each. Of course, not the starters. Pikachu here, I mean, this is going to run you at least $100, $100 to $150 right now in today's market. Got the red cheeks here. Now, these ones actually are a little more common, but they are a lot more awesome and they're worth a lot more as well. These will generally push a little bit over $300, $400. So if you want to pick up a red cheeks Pikachu, you're going to have to hand out some extra cashola for one of those. Got the Pidgey. Got that Onyx there. Pretty awesome cards for sure. I love the base set. A Nidoran. Metapod. We're still here at the common cards at the moment. Once we get over to some of the more rare uncommon cards, start talking a little bit more prices on those things because some of them are pretty crazy. Got Coughing. This will probably be like the cheapest card out of the whole set. probably pick one of those up for like 25 bucks. Ghastly, a little bit harder to find. Actually, I think nowadays probably not so much, but they were not really popping up on eBay too often at one point. We got Duo. Got Diglett. Here's a pretty awesome card. I know you guys all love Charmander. These ones normally they'll run, you know, around $60 to $80 a piece. Just depends on supply and demand on eBay, of course. But yeah, if you get them for below 60, then you're lucky. We got awesome Caterpie. I actually really like this artwork. The background looks really cool. Here we got Bulbasaur, and this is, in case you didn't notice, that is a gray stamp. This is my only gray stamp PSA 10, as I was saying before, and they're quite rare. They really are. You can actually find, I believe, yeah, you could find some thin stamps as well. I don't know how those are extremely rare, thin stamp non-holo cards, like how they have on the holos. The stamp, the number 1 will just be thinner, so that'd be considered a thin stamp. But those are extremely rare. I've only seen one on a couple cards, like the Wartortle, people selling them on eBay and stuff like that, which really isn't very many cards that I've ever seen with those. So those are really rare. If you could ever find a thin stamp, first edition non-holo card, I would buy it for sure. And this beast right here, this Wartortle, man, I bought a set, a complete set, ungraded, and actually this didn't come out of that. What am I thinking? I paid $20 raw for a mint Wartortle, and to my surprise, it came back at 10, and I didn't realize its rarity at the time, but this is a Pop 23 card, and it is extremely expensive. I mean, we're talking a good $1,000 here for this beast. But like I said, I graded mine myself, so thankfully it didn't hurt so much for having it already, you know. Really helped out a lot that I had graded it myself. It's always better to grade cards yourself, but as my good pal Scott SM Pratt says, you gotta pay for a good stamp, and if you don't want to sit there and worry about buying cards ungraded, worrying about what grade they might get. I mean, it gets expensive buying ungraded cards, not knowing if you're going to get a 10, and you may as well just pay for the grade. Save yourself some time, especially with these cards. First edition base set, if you could find raw ungraded mint or gem mint first edition stamped base set cards, buy them, because they are not easy to find. And if you do, I do applaud you. I found quite a bit of these myself. This was about 2 years ago when I found a bunch of non-holos. I just got really lucky. My friend Zach told me about it, and the guy was selling a bunch of pack fresh commons and uncommons and energies and stuff like that, and we worked out a really good deal. So I've made a killing off of those, and also graded a bunch of 10s for my own collection, which was super awesome. Got Kakuna. Oh yeah. Cadabra. This is a little bit of a harder one to find. Some reason, I feel like it should sell for at least $200. I feel more like probably around $150 to $200. If you could find one in those digits, I would buy it myself, because this Jinx here, normally I've seen them sell for around that price as well. These Jinx kind of go for a bit of money there, but I think I bought this on an auction, this Jinx. Ivysaur, these ones generally go for like $150 to $200 as well, depending on how many you could find on eBay at the time or who's selling it. So next up we got Haunter. Really like this artwork. It's pretty cool looking. Pretty basic, plain. Growlithe. This one also can be quite expensive as well. I've seen people grade like 10 of these in one submission and only get 110 back. The centering on these cards is always awful. So if you could find a Growlithe 10 for in the range of $300 and $400, then you did quite well for yourself. Next up, we got that Fetched Dratini. This is a pretty expensive one as well. One just sold at auction for $400. I got lucky and I think I spent $275 on mine. But that was at the beginning of last year, I think, before things started to go a little crazy. Prices have definitely swelled up in number, that's for sure. It's been quite the expensive hobby as of late. Got Charmeleon. This is an expensive one too, but I paid a good price on this one. If you could find one for $200, then that's awesome. Arcanine, a beautiful, beautiful card right there. Remember getting one of these out of the pack when I was a kid, but it wasn't first edition. So it's the first time I opened up some booster packs. That was an awesome day as a kid. It's got Pidgeotto. These are the rares. A lot of these will go for over $100 a piece. I think Pidgeot and Electrode are two of the cheaper ones. But as I've seen, I mean, I keep an eye on eBay a lot, and I don't see a lot of these rares pop up too often. So they're definitely not easy to find. Especially, Doug Trio, people are trying to get quite a bit for that one. It's a pretty cool looking card, though. He looks pretty pissed off. Down to the last two cards here, and probably my favorite artwork out of the set. Or probably just in general, my favorite non-holo card. I mean, look at this artwork. It is just so majestic. It's like it's in Alaska underneath the northern lights or something. Just swimming around. Just a beautiful, beautiful card. These things, you'd be lucky to find one for $400 now. I've seen them sell for $375 and up. So they're definitely scattered all over the board for price. I got lucky and I graded this one myself too. Just an epic card. That is for sure. And the last card here. Beedrill. This is not a cheap one either. Have fun finding one. You'll probably pay around close to $400. I know I saw one on auction sell for around that in the last couple months. Very awesome artwork as well. Really like this Beedrill card. Just the set in general has amazing artwork all around. Even the trainer cards. That's what kind of urged me to collect it, was just, the nostalgia of it all. It's just an amazing set. And I couldn't say no to that set. So maybe I'm going to lay out all these cards across the table and give you guys just like an overhead view. It'll probably be a little glary, but I think that it would look cool since I've never seen it laid out across the table with all 10s. So here's what you got all sprawled out across the table. Couldn't not do this. It's just way too awesome. Had to put it up like there were 9-page pocket sleeves. And of course down toward the bottom my table wasn't quite big enough to fit it just that way. It's just an absolutely awesome set. Everybody's got to get it. Sorry for that horrendous glare. There you have it, people. A first edition PSA 10 non-holo base set. I'm only 2 holos away from completing the rest of the set. So someday, sometime when that finally happens, You guys will be getting a re-updated video with the holos in it as well. Peace.